With us this morning to review the papers are journalists Afia Hagan and Nikki Hodgson, who's here with me in the studio. Great to have you both with us this morning. Let's kick off with that story in The Guardian that we didn't manage to cover before. A tsunami, as they say, of dangerous vapes flooding into the UK. Certainly, we're hearing about vapes all the time at the moment, aren't we? It certainly feels like this is becoming a really big thing. Lots of young people using them.
Yes.
And lots of them coming into the UK that seemingly aren't approved.
Yes, so apparently 2.5 million illegal illicit e-cigarettes have come into the UK since 2020. And the reason they're bad is because they have potentially higher nicotine concentration levels, they contain certain banned ingredients, they've been found to contain high levels of lead, nickel and chromium. And obviously the real issue here is the prevalence amongst young people in using vapes. I think it was Sky News actually that did a report in May saying that about 11%, I think it was like 11% of young people have tried vapes or are trying them. So, you know, it's just drawing attention to the fact that this is not unregulated, we're regulating it, but we have this influx of products which are not okay for people to use. And it's getting very complicated looking at the issue of, you know, the effect of vapes on people's health, because we're analysing the so-called legal ones, and yet we have this tidal wave of illegal ones as well.
Yeah, certainly. We talk about it all the time, and young people are using them as well, aren't they? I've actually never tried one. Afia, let's move on to the front page of the Daily Star. You can always rely on the Star, can't you, to bring us something different. Invasion of killer hornets. What's going on?
Yes, so from a wave of illegal vape to an invasion of killer hornets. Now, these are Asian hornets that have been found on the island of Jersey since 2016, and there's been an astronomical rise in them. And this is a worry because if they sting you, they can trigger an allergic reaction, and they are a threat to our native bees as well. So on Jersey last year, they caught 55 of these queens and 174 nests. This year, they've trapped 438 queens. So that's a huge rise in these number of hornets. And like I said, because they are not native to this country, they're Asian hornets, which were first spotted in Europe actually in 2004, before being found in Jersey in 2016. They can trigger this allergic reaction, which, you know, can be very, very serious. And of course, they are a threat to our native bees as well. So basically, people are being warned about these killer hornets, to be careful. You know, we always kind of, I don't know about you, but I always do that kind of wasp bee dance whenever I see a wasp buzzing around me. I hate it. But now, yes, we do actually have to be careful, because despite the headline on the front of the Daily Star, which looked quite amusing, this can be quite serious. And like I said, a threat to our bee population.
Yeah, let's move on from killer hornets, because there's lots to talk about. Front page of the Eye, this diabetes drug, Ozempic, is being, you know, used by lots of people just to lose weight, lots of influencers and celebrities, so there's a shortage of it. Tell us more.
Yeah, so Boris Johnson himself has admitted to using it just last week. So it's all kinds of people that are using it for weight loss. Ozempic is licensed in this country by the NHS for type 2 diabetes. It's a very important drug that really helps people with that condition to control it and to stay well. And yeah, there's a massive shortage because people are using it off-label. So pharmacists are saying that this is a ticking time bomb, this is a disaster. People aren't able to get repeat prescriptions, and we probably need more regulation to stop people using it off-label.
Afia, let's move on to an article in The Guardian. I'm not sure I've got the right one here, but obviously it was the anniversary of Windrush this week. Yeah, that's the right article. I haven't got it. But tell us what we know about all those who've left for a new life in the UK, as that article alludes to.
Yeah, it's a really interesting article, actually. It talks about who was actually on the HMT Windrush, who was in the 1,025 passengers who arrived, looked at the manifest, what kinds of people on there. You had lots of single men, you had, of the women, they were nurses, seamstresses, you had under 12s, babes in arms, and of course it was mainly those children and young people who were affected in the Windrush scandal because they travelled here on their parents' passports, and then documents were lost or misplaced by the government, which meant that their immigration status came under question when the Conservative government wanted to to make the UK a hostile environment for illegal immigrants. These people were counted as that and then faced huge challenges with their citizenship. Lots of people were deported back, and even now haven't got the compensation that they deserve. About 6,000 people applied for it. Only about 1,600 people were told they were entitled to compensation. A lot of those people still haven't got it, and as well as their immigration status being shaky as well. And what we must remember as we think about the 75th anniversary of the Empire Windrush docking at Tilbury Docks is that these people who were part of the Commonwealth were brought to the United Kingdom to help rebuild a country ravaged by war. Yet so many of them were treated so horribly by this Tory government, and it's a real shame. We should be celebrating and really celebrating the contribution that the Windrush generation have made to the United Kingdom.
Thanks, Afia, so much. We'll see you both again next hour. You're watching Sky News Breakfast. Stay with us. Ahead in the next hour, we will have continuing coverage of the breaking news from Russia. We are expecting President Putin to speak shortly.